Hello. Now, move on to episode 6 of this little thing that we do here. We're gonna start this episode off with something pretty crazy
that we didn't even know about.
Didn't know about it. Well, I can't say I never heard about the incident, but what they're doing with the remains is crazy.
I've never heard about the 1985 move police bombing.
Well, I haven't heard about it named that way. I just knew about it as the Philadelphia bombing. But once you hear about it, you remember the date, everything. You never forget 1985 now. I will forever remember 1985 Philadelphia bombing. But yeah. So recently some content was made by Democracy Now! Where they came out and exposed that some Ivy League schools are using the bones of black children that were killed in the 1985 MOVE police bombing. Now, MOVE was a social movement, or not a social movement, should I say? It was more like it was like the Panthers,
but they allowed other
races mixed with a environmental green group.
It was like Fred Hampton.
Like Fred Hampton, he was like a Rainbow Coalition type thing.
Yeah, they were Rainbow Coalition.
Out in Philadelphia. It started by a guy named John Africa, but he also had help in founding the thing, but we'll get into that later. Now, originally it was known as the Christian Movement for Life. So it was religious. It was very religious to start, but it turned into something very different. They called it a separatist group, militant, which is why it was compared to the Black Panthers. But recently, like I said, Democracy Now! Came out with information that exposed the Ivy League schools were using the remains of the children that were killed in that bombing.
Wicked as hell.
We're going to go ahead and show the video now.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the Quarantine Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. If you'd like to get our daily email digest, go to send the word Democracy Now! One word, home of the radical black liberation anti-police brutality group MOVE. In a minute, we'll show you video of the remains being used in an online teaching course and get response from Mike Africa Jr. But first, we go back to that day, May 13th, 1985, when the Philadelphia police killed 6 adults and 5 children, destroyed over 60 homes, burning an entire block to the ground by bombing the MOVE house. In a 2010 interview on Democracy Now!, Ramona Africa, the sole adult survivor of the 1985 attack, described what happened after the bomb was dropped on their house.
In terms of the bombing, after being attacked the way we were, first with 4 deluge hoses by the fire department, and then tons of tear gas, and then being shot at, the police admit to shooting over 10,000 rounds of bullets at us in the first 90 minutes. There was a lull. It was quiet for a little bit. And then, without any warning at all, 2 members of the Philadelphia Police Department's bomb squad got in a Pennsylvania State Police helicopter and flew over our home and dropped a satchel containing C4, a powerful military explosive that no municipal police department has. They had to get it from the federal government, from the FBI. And without any announcement or warning or anything, they dropped that bomb on the roof of our home. Now, at that point, we didn't know exactly what they had done. We heard the loud explosion. The house kind of shook, but it never entered my mind that they dropped a bomb on us. But the bomb did, in fact, ignite a fire. And not long after that, it got very, very hot in the house, and the smoke was getting thicker. At first, we thought it was tear gas, but as it got thicker, it became clear that this wasn't tear gas, that this was something else. And then we could hear the trees outside of our house crackling and realized that our home was on fire. And we immediately tried to get our children, our animals, our dogs and cats, and ourselves out of that blazing inferno.
Now, keep in mind, she says that, but she was the only one that made it out. The only adult that made it out. I said 11 people were killed.
5 were kids.
5 kids, 6 adults. She was the only adult to make it out of there. They didn't. I think it was 2 kids that made it out with her. I can't remember.
I'm not for sure.
But that's so. It's so crazy. So what happened is, as she said in her story, the cops were outside their house. They had a standoff. The police, after shooting a whole bunch of, so they were already shooting. They then had a man get into a helicopter, a police officer, and drop C4 onto the house, which she acknowledged they only get it from the FBI.
And they've only done that to Black American citizens.
Yep. Once in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Philadelphia. So the only time the U.S. government has dropped bombs on its own citizens was when it was Black American.
Because they don't view you as a citizen.
Well, according to the Constitution, you're not really a citizen. I want to show this right here. This is the article that was written about it. The day police bombed a city street, can scars of 1985 move atrocity be healed? No. 11 people, including 5 children, died, and a Philadelphia neighborhood burned down in the airstrike against Black Liberation Group. Now an effort at reconciliation is underway. So you look here. Frank Powell, a Philadelphia police officer who in 1985 was chief of the city's bomb disposal squad, remembers vividly the moment he was given his instructions. Wow, he recalls thinking, you want me to do that? On 3rd of May 1985, Powell was handed an army-style green satchel containing a bomb made of C4 plastic explosive of a sort widely deployed in Vietnam. He boarded a state police helicopter and took up his position, balanced precariously on the skids of the aircraft. I can't remember being scared, he told Guardian, though I must have been. That's strange.
He can't remember being scared,
but I had to have been scared. You mean you were happy, basically. At 5:27 p.m., as the helicopter rose into the crystal clear blue sky, he carried out his orders. Flying over a largely African-American residential neighborhood of West Philadelphia, he lined up his sights, lit the 45-second fuse with a military igniter, and followed his orders. I reached out and dropped it. Perfect. It was going right where it's supposed to go.
Didn't they kill police officers?
Well, back in 1978, they had a shootout with police. I think 1 officer or 2 officers was killed, and 9 MOVE members were arrested for that. Got life sentences. So from the group started. Since the group started, they were already on the investigation.
So they were like at war with the police officers.
Yeah, this was a constant thing over like a decade. They're going back and forth. So this right here was just kind of the cataclysm. This was the big moment where the police was done with it. I think they said 500 officers had showed up to the scene that day. So they were ready to, the attack was on that day.
You had 500 officers show up, and then you decided to throw a bomb on top of these people's house.
Yeah, they were done. They were ready to end the movement at that point.
They were tired.
Yeah, they were done with it. So if you read that article, it's nasty, man. The history of this country is so wicked. And
it's unveiling.
Constantly.
Why aren't you Will Smiths, Jill Scott, Meek Mills? I've never heard them talk about the Philly 1985 bombing.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Even like, I think it's one of those things where if you're from Philadelphia, you know about it, but it's like there's so many things that
But Will Smith he has his own studio. He could have done a movie on this by now. Why hasn't there been is there a movie done on this? I may have been misspoken.
Not that I know of.
He could have done a movie by now on that.
I don't know. I haven't heard of a movie made about this incident, but I'll look it up right quick. Hold on. No movie. New film shows what led to the movie. No, it was a movie that showed come out. I think it was a low budget, or not a low budget, but like a
documentary,
indie movie, indie documentary they did about what led to it.
No, you need to do a movie.
They haven't done a mainstream movie about the incident. But yeah, But when you look into the MOVE movement itself, that's where it gets interesting. So the origins of MOVE is the group's name MOVE is not an acronym. Its founder, John Africa. And if you want to see who John Africa is, a lot of people y'all might know about this. Just because we didn't know about it don't means a lot of other people didn't know about it. But this right here is John Africa. This guy right here. They named themselves Africa because they wanted a connection to the homeland, but they were like a hippie group. They were environmentalists and they believe in the green. They were against technology and science and all that stuff. But it's a very strange, very strange group. When they say right here, when the organization that would become MOVE was founded in 1972, John Africa was functionally illiterate. John Africa dictated his thoughts to Donald Glassey. Donald Glassey is the one who is the co-founder of the MOVE movement. Yes, he is a Caucasian man.
We know it. They always got their hands in any type of movement that black people have.
Most of the time, whenever a movement black people start and it ends in fire, it's because they had somebody in it that shouldn't have been in it. But you look here, it says a social worker from the University of Pennsylvania. That's who Donald Glassey was. And created what he called the guidelines on the basis of the communal group. Africa and his mostly African-American followers wore their hair in dreadlocks as popularized by the Caribbean Rastafari movement. MOVE advocated for a radical form of green politics and a return to the hunter-gatherer society while stating their opposition to science, medicine, and technology. They were a hippie movement, like I said, obviously. But when you get into the members of the group, particularly Donald Glassey. Now, Donald Glassey, as it said, he was a quote unquote social worker, as they say. They say he was a social worker.
Yeah. CIA.
Yeah, he's social work. Okay. So this right here, hold on, let me find a better picture of him. What the hell are all these pieces small as hell? Okay, here we go. This right here is Donald Glassey.
Don't like no social worker to me.
No, we don't gotta understand. Back in the 60s up into the 70s, the hippie movement was like really, really strong. So him walking around with a beard wouldn't have been that strange.
Hippie movement, aka orgy movement.
But yeah, so that's Donald Glassey or Glassey right there. You see right here, Donald Glassey, the white co-founder turned government informant as the group switched from being integrated to a small all-black fringe group that numbered about 50. Glassey told police about the cache of weapons they were kept in MOVE headquarters.
Sold them out.
Now, that's not the only time he snitched. When I did the little tiny bit of research I did on him, the dude was clearly an informant from the beginning. It's pretty obvious. When you look up some documents on him, this right here is a document about his connection to being an informant. Federal prison and fined up to $25,000. Glassey did not face trial on charges of drug smuggling. Instead, his case was dismissed.
I wonder why.
So he was caught up on some drugs and fined up $25,000, but his case got dismissed. That's the first sign. After his brush with the law, Glassey returned to his life in Philadelphia. He took position as an adjunct professor of sociology at the Communal College of Pennsylvania and integrated himself with the members of West Philadelphia New Left organization, including the East Powhatan Concerned Residents, the group that, and the housing cooperative that owned John Africa's apartment, all groups that were targeted by the CAU. When Donald Glassey met Vincent Leaphart, now that's John Africa, that's his real name, Vincent Leaphart. In the spring of 1972, he was calling himself Donald Grossman. Anytime somebody got more than one name, we're not talking about a nickname. Anytime somebody give you more than one formal name, government name, they're an agent. They're a spy. They're an informant. You should probably get away from them. Because the Philadelphia Police Department is reluctant to release the intelligence files on MOVE, it is difficult to reconstruct exactly what from the CAU's operation against MOVE took. There are, however, some things we can say things for certain. First, the CAU began conducting surveillance on MOVE on May 13, 1973. No,
Y'all
they
started
started.
1992.
No, they started.
1972.
Yeah, it started
Sorry.
the day it was formed because the dude who helped form
When
it,
Donald Glassey met Vince,
it started.
that's when it started.
The same day, Don Africa purchased 309 North 33rd Street on behalf of the Move Over Time. I'm sorry, on behalf of Move Over Time, the CAU expanded the surveillance operation to include wiretapping, infiltration, and subterfuge. Investigation records show that the Civil Affairs Unit had an informant inside Move as early as May 16, 1974. No, that's the official. That's the one. I'm sorry, that's the one that gave y'all in the public record.
It's 1972.
Yeah, they were already running guns with them allegedly back in.
How do y'all always let these white people into y'all stuff back then? I don't understand.
Every time.
You had black people who infiltrated these movements too.
Yeah, look, you gotta.
But damn, white people.
You gotta have discernment. You have to have the ability to know who's really on your side or not. You know,
the son.
Okay, so now we gotta get into another person. John Africa's, after he died, his wife then, she's one of the only adults. Once again, she's the only adult to live. She went on to marry a man,
a white man,
John Gilbridge Jr. If you know about this, he is a Caucasian man. That's the man she ended up marrying after John Africa or Vincent Leaphart was killed in that bombing.
I mean, but we really can't be surprised because they were at one time a rainbow coalition. They had everybody in the group, but then somehow they turned to a Black Panthers party.
But see, that's the thing. They started integrated, but it changed. But
her integration feelings clearly never left.
Clearly. Now hold on. There's another aspect we have to bring up. Hippie movements did not believe in relationships. Hippie movements believe that if we're together, anybody can have sex with anybody.
That's why I said it was an orgy fest.
Yeah. So more than likely, they were all having sex with each other in this group anyway. Whenever you hear about those hippie movements, those green political movements,
it's about sexual access.
Yeah, it's all about sleeping with freedom, all about sexual promiscuity. So that's that. She ended up. Now the crazy thing about him is when they got married, they had a child.
I think it was
What you say?
I think that picture is the son they had. That picture you had, the images you had. And she's with that dude. I think that's the son.
Oh, well, I'm not sure. But then the dude, John Gilbridge, it says here, after John Africa's death, his widow, Alberta, or Ramona,
Yeah,
how you say her name?
It's Ramona.
Yeah, but she changed her name too. Alberta married John Gilbridge Jr. Together they had a child, Zachary Africa, before divorcing in 1999. By 2002, Gilbridge had no longer supported Move and resettled in Maple Shade, New Jersey. Alberta Africa was living in Cherry Hill, New Jersey with her son, John Zachary Gilbridge, as he was legally known. On September 10, 2002, in the course of a bitter custody dispute, Gilbridge testified in court that Move had threatened to kill him. The court granted Gilbridge partial custody of Zachary, allowing him unsupervised visits. On September 27th, shortly after midnight, and prior to Gilbride's first visitation date with Zachary, an unknown assailant shot and killed him with an automatic weapon as he sat in a car parked outside his New Jersey home. Investigators did not name a suspect, and the Burlington County Police did not release ballistic information. The case remains unsolved, as Move spokeswoman initially said that the U.S. government had assassinated Gilbridge in order to frame Move. His ex-wife, Alberta Africa, denied that the murder had occurred. She said in 2009 that Gilbride is out hiding somewhere.
Well, hold on. Did they see the body? For her to say that, they didn't show the body.
They said that they released no information, no ballistics or nothing.
So this man was supposedly killed by Move, and
she's able to say he's hiding somewhere. What a body. I mean, they've had to find his body if he was killed outside.
So is he in protective custody?
Wait, they said they had to have killed him if they found him in a car shot up. But unless he didn't die in a car.
But she's saying that he's somewhere hiding out, which means
he had no funeral.
Yeah, he had no funeral.
Now, was he another agent?
That's what I'm thinking. He was another agent.
I don't know. When she, Tony Allen, the ex-Move member, says the Move murdered. He said that the Move murdered Gilbride. He said they did.
All right, if we type in his name, and are we able to see where he's buried at?
No. No, you don't see. That's the car.
Well, they should have obituary.
This is his car right here. It got shot up.
There's no obituary online that you can find or see.
Let me see right quick. Yeah, he got one. Is that his name? Joseph John Gilbride?
No,
that's not him.
that's somebody else.
I don't know. They say he was murdered right here. I don't know. But that's kind of strange she was said like that. So the Move, that whole bombing thing is insane. So now I want to show y'all the video of them actually using a little black boys from the bombing. One of the 5 children, they used their bones as a way to study for classes. It's just crazy, man.
Has some flesh on it, which I know is not uncommon actually in forensics and forensic anthropology. In this case, there is some soft tissue which is actually remaining, and the bones were actually burned as well. So it's got quite a complicated history. So I'll pick up just for a moment and show you that this is really the tissue which is present on the specimen. It's not a lot, but absolutely it's there. This is the tendon that goes to rectus femoris. That's actually intact and it's there. The femur is with much less tissue associated with it, but you still have in the fovea capitis the anchoring ligament, which is present in the head of the femur. The bones are, we would say like juicy, meaning that you can tell that they are of a recently deceased individual. They have a lot of sort of sheen to them, at least this one does. And that is because, of course, there's still marrow in the marrow cavity, and it's sort of leaching basically out and into the bone, so it gives that kind of slick sort of appearance. If you smell it, it doesn't actually smell bad, but it smells like just kind of greasy, like an older style grease.
Since this video was reported on last week, the Penn Museum and the University of Pennsylvania have apologized to the Africa family for allowing human remains recovered from the Move house to be used for research and teaching, and for retaining the remains for far too long. The bones are reportedly now in the possession of Alan Mann, a professor emeritus at Princeton, who apparently received them from the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office for forensic analysis in 1985. Mann told the outlet Inside Higher Education he's working to return, quote, the upper end of a thigh bone and a small part of one pelvic bone to the examiner's office, and that he was, quote, sorry to learn that there's a perception that what I did with the Move human remains was wrong.
There's a perception.
Wait. He said he's sorry that there's a perception that what he did was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Not what he did was wrong.
Good Lord, man.
Whenever they use that word if, they ain't sorry.
The medical examiner's office has said that if the remains are returned to their office, they would attempt to locate next of kin to claim them.
If? Shouldn't it be when? When they return, we're gonna send them. We're gonna give them to next of kin. They're like, well, if they send them to us,
we might give it back to y'all.
We might let you bury your son. We maybe will. Just rotten at people, man. They
can't help themselves.
That's just one of the many stories like that of them doing stuff like that. Obviously, we did a video on Tuskegee experiment. Henrietta Lacks, is that her name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you got Henrietta Lacks, who they lied to her and was taking her blood, and now they're using that for all kind of diseases, using her cell rejuvenation. So it's not rare. It's pretty constant.
They use you for everything.
They constantly use us, use black people for testing, research. You're the ones they use to do it with. But you know, that's just another American story, another American horror story, as they would say.
Yep, the TV show American Horror Story.
That's what should really be a part of it. The American Horror Story.
Them should have been named American Horror Story.
Yeah, but speaking of
Mr. Samuels,
speaking of Philadelphia, we got to bring back Dr. Umar Johnson, the Philly man himself, and his recent. I guess you could say he had a little bit of a head bump with Kevin Samuels. Obviously, it wasn't just Kevin Samuels, but he the one that everybody talking about.
He's had quite a few head bumps.
Yeah, he's had 12 head bumps, but but we did a video on this already, like everybody else. But I want to show another side of this. In that video, we disagree with Umar Johnson because we felt like what he's saying is not really useful as far as black relationships. When he says that Kevin Samuels was disrespecting black women or belittling them or making them feel bad, it's like truth don't really care about how you feel about it.
Yep.
Sometimes you gotta tell the truth and it'll lead to.
You gotta tell the truth and spare feelings.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because Dr. Umar Johnson, he said some of the things that we say Kevin Samuels say.
Yeah, he's definitely said that stuff. We were just disagreeing him in that moment, what he said.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show one clip of Dr. Umar Johnson when he talked about why black women in particular he spoke about are single.
And you guys will take the swag factor and put that at the top of the list. And a brother over here who has no swag, but would have been a perfect mate, is overlooked for a brother over here who didn't really have everything you desired, but he had the swag.
Now, ain't that what something Kevin Samuels say when he said about the dating choices?
Yeah.
You say no to this guy and yes to that guy.
You choose to, you look at that person as lame.
Yeah.
You want the thug and the gangster.
What do you recommend for women right now, like such as myself, who are, have their own job, their own home, and are not married yet? Like, what do you recommend for us?
It's tough around women because of the war against black men. There's not enough able-bodied men to go around. I believe, according to the most recent census data, if you married every able-bodied black man to a black woman in America, there would still be approximately 2 million black women without a husband. 2 million. That's a lot of people. Okay. And that doesn't include the men who are incarcerated. So once you account for incarceration, that 2 million easily creeps up to about 3 million black women who will not have a mate. Number one, I think that although there's a lot more black women than men, I think black women need to understand that there's a lot of black women who a lot of men would not find desirable, which means it reduces the ratio. So for example, in Philadelphia, the ratio was like 1 black man to, I think, 8 black women. So sister might say, well, 1 to 8, what chance do I serve? Well, some of those sisters lead an alternative lifestyle. So you got to keep in mind, okay, they're trans or they're lesbian. So you knock that number down to probably 1 to 5. And then some of those women who are not married may be in a committed civil union with a man. So you knock that down. Now you're looking at maybe 1 to 4. And then you have some sisters with serious mental illness and you knock that down and you're looking at 1 to 2. My point is, when you account for all the different variables that would make a woman not available to a man, the ratio is not as bad as it looks.
Well, go ahead.
He wasn't talking about trans as in man.
Man to
He's talking about woman to man trans.
I hope so, because
a lot of people gonna take that and try to run with it. He's not talking about men turning into women. He's talking about women transforming transforming into men.
Yeah. So yeah, I got.
Let me help that clean. Let me clean it up for you, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah,
you gotta be specific.
I had to tell you because people will take it out of perspective. But Dr. Umar Johnson got a.
But hold on, we were talking about that last night. I was talking about that, how we were just talking about how there's more black women than men, and we were discussing
what you do.
They have to become sister wives
over side chicks. This is the answer. Now,
I mean, you're lioness. You are
it's a pride.
Pride.
You're part of a pride. But Kevin Samuels, he says the same thing. When he says that a man has, when he's talking about men of high value, saying how they have options, side chicks exist. When a man can afford it, he's going to have multiple women.
Yeah.
When you go to another Dr. Umar Johnson's videos, when he specifically talked about the viral video that when he was talking about YouTubian beta males, he kind of spoke on that. So I'm gonna play a little clip here.
Your support. Thank you for your support. I am feeling the best I've ever felt regarding the Garvey School and Turner Gymnasium renovation since we bought the school 2 years and 3 months ago. This is the best I've felt.
Shout out to him and his school, the Frederick Douglass Academy. Give him a shout out.
Y'all been giving that man hell for about 5 years over that school.
People understand there's a difference between hosting a class, a session, versus trying to fund a school. That takes more than $300,000. That takes a lot of money, a lot of time and effort, especially when you get no government assistance, none. Completely owned by you. You have to.
This ain't a LeBron school.
Yeah, this ain't. LeBron has his school.
He has money.
He paid for it. It was built, but it's funded by the local taxes.
Yeah.
So it's
even he not even taking on the responsibility.
Well, you're not allowed. Funny enough, you're not allowed to put so much money into a school. You have to either make it a charter school or a public school. I don't know why you're not allowed to fund the school completely. It's against. You can't. Not allowed to do it. I guess
because they want to control.
No, it's because you're allowed to write it off as a tax break. So if you're able to fund an entire school, you can funnel money through that. You can do money laundering. So they make it where you have to run the money through something. So either you got to take money from parents at a charter school, or you got to get money through the government.
Nets, no baby papa hoodies, no we hate your daddy socks, we hate your dad. Wilmington, Delaware, the black messiah of this generation, this millennial. Brothers and sisters, I want to say this to my brothers out there. Let me talk to the brothers for a minute. I talked to the sisters the last time I was at Ifa Tunde U. Let me talk to the brothers real quick. I've been getting a lot of mail from my brothers. Some of y'all are upset that Dr. Umar defended the women. If you listen to the whole live stream, my strong black brothers, if you listen to the whole live stream, my alpha male brothers, I did tell the sisters that they be on some bullshit sometimes. If you listen to the whole live, black men, I did tell black women that they be making mistakes and they be doing brothers wrong. I did, brothers. I did say the sisters be having some shit that they need to work through. I did, my brothers. I did. I don't live in a dream world. Trust me. I have two beautiful daughters of my own. I know what we go through with women who, for whatever reason, want to seek revenge for us. I know how the game go.
Oh, so he dealing with the baby mama drama too. Which is the point that Kevin Samuels made.
Which is the point that Kevin Samuels made. You didn't have wives.
You didn't have wives. You made baby mamas.
Yeah,
but who knows? He might have been a young man at the time.
Okay, but hey, black women get...
Kevin said he was a young man at the time too, and he still wifed 2 black women.
Beat up enough. Black men get beat up enough. I'm not here to beat nobody else up. But what I don't like, as I said in the last video, too many black men are motivated to destroy, to slander, to crucify black women. And I want to say this to you, black men. I want to say this to you, black men. I want to say this to all my unapologetically African alpha males out there. In order to graduate from beta to alpha, you have to deal with the pain, the suppressed pain in your unconscious from your childhood abuse. I'm going to say it again. In order for black men to graduate from psychological beta male to psychological alpha male, You might be alpha physically. You might be alpha on the block. You might be alpha in the bedroom. You might be alpha at your job. But are you psychologically an alpha male? Because a lot of us might be physically alpha, socially alpha, sexually alpha, romantically alpha, but are you psychologically alpha? And there's too many black men out here who are not psychologically alpha. You're psychologically beta. And when I say that you are psychologically beta, I'm saying that you have abused childhood. A lot of black men, I'm keeping it real. A lot of black men have childhood abuse issues, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. Some of you have been abandoned by your mother, abandoned by your father. You blame your mother for your father not being there when it could have been for him not being there, and it could have been your mother's fault. Or you blame your mother for not being there, and it could have been. So all I'm saying is that black men, we have to graduate from psychological beta to psychological alpha. I'm not talking sexuality.
So he was responding to the people that got mad at some of the stuff he said.
He also talking about the MGTOW too.
Yeah, he's talking about.
He definitely talking about the MGTOW.
Let me say this.
Some of them are just toxic.
The MGTOW dudes and some of the red pill dudes, they go too far sometimes. Like, I listened to the MGTOW stuff when I was like 17. Then at some point you realize a lot of these MGTOW dudes and red pill dudes are a lot of dudes who dealt with a woman who destroyed
a black woman.
Yeah, a black woman. A woman who destroyed their image of what a relationship is. They got their heart broken. They got disappointed, or they came to the conclusion of what a woman really is about. And it completely turned them sour to a point where they go to the extreme from being a simp. The difference between a MGTOW or red pill dude, I'm talking about the extreme versions, not guys who talk about common sense things. But the difference between a simp and a person who is a red pill MGTOW is the simp hasn't had his heart broken yet. He hasn't come to the realization what reality is when it comes to women.
Yeah.
So he's gonna turn from a simp to the opposite just like that. That's the only difference to me.
I mean, what bothers me about, it's not the whole sector of MGTOW. When you have these dudes pushing interracial relationships, you're literally you're erasing yourself.
But that's what I'm saying. I've been on some of these the save yourself black man thing, and I've seen dudes say some crazy stuff. I saw one dude say, I'm okay with 70% of 7% of the black population becoming biracial. Because he was like, we just need a reset.
We're resetting ourselves with European or any other
race,
Asian, Mexican, whatever race.
Yeah, but what don't make sense about that is like, okay, your plan to fix black people and the communal problems we have between the genders is to completely just get away from them and start over. That don't work, because what are the other races of men? First off, it's so weak that instead of doing what you're supposed to do, which is checking your own and fixing your community,
you want to completely abandon, jump ship.
It's not even just that. You want to go to another man's community and benefit from how he's trained his women to act.
And they're not going to allow it.
Exactly. You think it's bad. You think other races of men are going to watch as black men en masse run out and start dating these other women to populate their own community? They're going to say, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Which is what they said in, what's that place in New York?
I forgot.
Mall, soft knees,
Dykeman. Yeah, that dude came out and said, protect the women. He's a protect the women. It's like, what the hell? Because it was supposed to be about them not allowing to destroy the community.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, the shops and stuff. Dude got on cameras to talk about, protect the women. Like, what? What the hell they got to do with anything?
Even when Black Lives Matter go into these cities, we seen podcasts where they were saying, "Oh, they're there. They're gonna
take the
lewd and rape the women." And like, what? How you get raped?
One rape has been pointed out with these riots.
This is how those other racist men think. They coming into our community. We got to protect our women.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, I get it. The MGTOW thing. What it really should just be common sense. When you learn how relationships between men and women work, you shouldn't go to the extreme and start,
But you always have that section of people that just go to the extreme. They just get nasty with it.
Yeah, it becomes nasty. But let's show a clip of Kevin Samuels saying some of those same things right here.
But not women who still believe that all the leverage is still on your side and men got to impress you at all levels. It is crazy. Got news for you. You ladies have to impress men. We don't have to impress you. Not like that. See, that's the story that's been told to you ladies, that happy wife, happy life, and you got all these guys out here telling you what you want to hear. But I'm going to tell you, high value, productive men, productive, competitive, successful men aren't going out working 10, 12, 14-hour days and then coming home playing Joe in the bedroom, rubbing your back and massaging your toes and all this other kind of stuff. Girl, please. That's exactly what you hear a lot of girls saying. Girl, please. You're lucky if you get 5 minutes.
Now, he's talking about dudes that are running a business or something. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Kevin Samuels' message is getting kind of gray because he's mixing the high, quote unquote, high value man advice for the average Joe. So now the average dude thinking, yeah, I ain't coming from my 9 to 5 and giving you no.
Well, should he?
She got a 9 to 5. Yeah. If I got a 9 to 5 and you got a 9 to 5, we should equally understand how to bring a certain level of peace to the relationship. The rules can't be the same, can they?
Why not?
So you telling me a dude who works a regular 9 to 5, versus a dude who making 6 figures, he should have the exact same expectation for the relationship?
What does the Bible say?
What do you mean what the Bible say?
Aren't they supposed to be submissive?
I'm not talking about, okay, I know what you're saying. I'm not talking about the personality. I'm talking about, for instance, a dude who makes 6 figures, his woman probably not going to work, right? So
yeah, she's not going to work.
Exactly. So what's the expectation for her? Home, right?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be to take care of the home, cooking, the shopping, Well, if the woman got a 9 to 5 as well with the dude who working 9 to 5, is she supposed to have the same level of responsibility as far as taking care of the home, other than just basic cleaning and stuff? That's different. But aren't some of those things supposed to be divided up?
No, other cultures do that. Other cultures do that. I had an Indian employee, and she worked 5 days a week. It got up to the point where I had to have them start working 10 hours a day, so that's 50 hours a week, and she would go home in between her breaks and cook for her husband, her daughter, and her son.
What is she now? What race is she?
She's Indian.
Exactly.
That's why I tell you, other cultures still do it.
That's why in America, there's a difference.
Listen. Other cultures do it. I'm not saying it should be done because, listen, that's a lot of hours.
Exactly.
I wouldn't. Me personally,
you wouldn't expect the woman to do it.
I wouldn't expect for her to come home on her break and cook. Now, however, on the weekends we both off. Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. A dude who work a 9 to 5, he can't expect the same thing from a dude who makes 6 figures from his woman. There's a difference between being respectful to me, being friendly to me, being peaceful, versus expecting you to just.
If she's working 5 days a week, no, I'm not going to expect for her to cook every night.
That's what I'm saying. So the expectation. So with Kevin Samuels, is getting mixed though. Because you got dudes with 9 to 5 thinking that this apply to them, and it's like, hold on, bro.
And they going home and try to implement this stuff and getting cussed the fuck out.
Trying to put their foot down.
They getting cussed the fuck out.
There was a viral video of a dude who tried to take that junk home and tell his wife and she went in on his ass.
Hey, that is a Color Purple moment. Hoppo and
Hoppo, you told him to beat me.
You told him to beat me, and he came out with
black eyes.
So
yeah. So I want to say this. There's a lot of dudes who think that there's a difference between Kevin Samuels' message for the black community versus his advice to men. Those are 2 separate categories. I saw people in the comment section of other videos saying, why wouldn't masculine men take advice from Kevin Samuels? I could agree with some of that, but his advice is not for men. It's for a certain type of man.
Are they trying to say you're not masculine?
Who?
Why they said, why would masculine man
they're trying to say masculine men wouldn't follow him.
Why?
Don't take his advice on dating, I guess. And I said, well, go ahead.
What's wrong with his advice for masculine men on dating?
That's the point she made.
Oh yeah, the Tawana?
No. I'm talking about in our comment section.
Oh, in the comment section? Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm saying most people listen to him for his commentary on our community and our intra-racial tensions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, the messenger don't really matter if the message is necessary. It don't matter who he is. He could be,
It's very necessary.
Yeah, it's very necessary. So that's hopefully that didn't go nowhere. Hopefully
it ain't gonna go nowhere.
I don't think it's gonna go nowhere.
If hands didn't fly with him and Tariq, it ain't gonna fly with him.
Well, no, him and Tariq, they went. See, Tariq has a different personality.
He's petty.
Tariq,
keep it going.
Tariq responded. He was talking crazy about him. He did give him a shout out when he did his live stream talking about his new movie, Butt Breaking. Tariq Nasheed was discussing his movie, and Tariq Nasheed gave Dr. Umar a shout out. I was like, okay.
Because he wanted him to be in that butt breaking documentary.
I don't know if he got in it or not. I haven't watched it, but
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Why was he so eager to get that movie made?
That's a whole different topic. I
guess he got fantasies.
But anyway, we're gonna move on to another thing. Fired Atlanta police officer who shot Rayshard Brooks reinstated. Not surprised.
Are we shocked?
Now this one is a story that this is a story that happened like right after the George Floyd, if I'm not mistaken, like a little bit afterwards. Maybe it was even after the dude.
It was after Arbery.
Arbery was killed in February. We didn't find out about it until months later.
Yeah.
So it was after the information came out.
This is the one that got killed in his car outside of Wendy's, right?
Sleeping. He was drunk. Decided, let me go sleep my drunk off. What you supposed to do?
I'm not sure on which fast food chain it was, so I'm gonna say a fast food chain. He got killed outside of.
Yeah. I think it was McDonald's though.
Yeah. But the Becky came in and burnt it down for him.
Becky came in and handled business. Becky burned the whole store down.
Well, if his wife would have did that, it would have been told. And we haven't even. Did she get charged? There was no follow up on that.
When people try to cover it, they're like, "Oh, we don't know what y'all talking about. Why y'all trying to snitch on her?" But I'm pretty sure they knew anyway. I don't think they had no proof that it was her. Maybe I don't know. Well, no, there was a video of her doing it.
Yeah. If it would have been Eve, the black woman, she would have got her ass locked up.
But yeah, of course he got reinstated. And it's so crazy. He pulled over because he was drunk to sleep it off. He was responsible.
That was a responsible thing to do.
He
very
tried to
responsible.
And you come in the parking lot, you fuck with him.
Who called the cops on him though?
Somebody in that store probably.
Nobody. This is the same thing that happened with George Floyd.
Same thing. Just let him go about his business.
And I bet you it was a black employee that called the cops on him.
Man, he got there drunk. Let me call the cops to get him home. He thought it was going to
No, they said get his ass off the property.
But yeah, so that's government. So that's unfortunate situation.
It's becoming to the point where you can't call the police.
You can't. You really can't.
You gotta police your own community.
But yeah. So this right here is the Ahmaud Arbery birthday bash on May 8th.
Who's on this flyer?
Now, there's a flyer that was released by Until Freedom, and y'all should know who Until Freedom is.
Tamika Mallory.
Exactly. This is Until Freedom right here.
My son.
Now, remember, Tamika Mallory was called out by Samaria Rice, who said that they used her son to promote
and what are
their
they
movement.
doing?
And they said, no, we didn't. We never did that. But that can't be true. When I look right here,
y'all having a birthday bash.
Y'all having a birthday bash for this dude. Now, let's really look at this and see who's involved with this.
Portia Williams from the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Didn't she? Oh, I ain't gonna talk about what is happening with her.
From
look at Jeezy, My Son the General, Wanda
New York,
Cooper,
Love and Hip Hop New York.
Mm-hmm. So let's go to the next page and see who else is involved with these shenanigans. Oh, look at that. Maxine Waters, Dr. Jamal Bryant,
Sean King, White Man, Dr. Jamal, the Reverend Jamal Bryant,
Lee McCarrett. He's one of the guys in Dallas. No, I'm sorry, in Texas that covered the family.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady being there is kind of crazy. I didn't even see that one.
AJ Calloway, which I thought he was, I think he's a stand-up
guy. Yeah, I think he's a stand-up guy. But this is the official page, and they announced this thing, and it's just like, you just prove she keep proving Samaria Rice correct when she called her ass out, and she don't care. They
don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care at all.
Did the whole thing with Cadillac, and it's just like, you exposing yourself. Didn't they delete that commercial from their channel?
Can't find that commercial on Cadillac YouTube page. They got rid of that commercial.
It's insane how they just expose themselves and don't even care.
And why is this Palestinian woman on the thing too, y'all? She's a co-founder, a Palestinian woman.
It's somehow they always find a way to get somebody else in.
Maybe Mark Lamont Hill brought on.
Look, man, leave Mark Lamont Hill alone.
He got a thing for Palestinian people. That's all I'm gonna say.
Leave my.
He on that what? Shout out. They got a Black News
Network channel.
Yeah. And Duke is giving it a try.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe and see how it grows. It's already growing. We're gonna see if they stay on their square.
If they stay on their square, I might subscribe. I'm
surprised there wasn't I know there's already channels that give news. Like we even do that. I'm surprised there hasn't been a TYT type Black network
or the Hill
where they build their platform through YouTube.
You don't need TV.
You don't
need
it.
YouTube. Hell, NBC and all those other people, they on YouTube.
Yeah, they
now.
on YouTube now. They're releasing a whole bunch of clips and stuff. You don't even need them.
Who watches TV?
Nobody. But then I didn't even know
Alicia
Garza of Black Lives Matter. You know she hasn't been with Black Lives Matter since 2017.
Didn't notice it until we came to Jamel Hill, aka the Frog.
Yeah, Jamel Hill has a channel she started, which is funny. She just now starting a channel, and she announced that she's not with Black Lives Matter, which tells me that what this interview was really about was Jamel Hill helping her prove to people, hey, look, remember, I'm not part of this movement. Because this is the same time when Patrice Cullors is on fire right now.
She on fire. House is burning.
So
why this woman got tattoos on her chest though?
The same thing they always do, man. But she clearly, Miss Alicia Garza, is trying to continually separate herself from Black Lives Matter because they keep bringing her name up. She's like, hold on.
But it's kind of strange though. Didn't she do a interview with Ice Cube?
Yeah,
and she was kind of like asking, why aren't you affiliating yourself with Black Lives Matter? But you're not a part of Black Lives Matter.
I agree.
Why would you care?
So that's why I'm thinking. The reason why she did this, the reason why she did this interview, and the reason why they gave her this title is she's trying to separate herself from Black Lives Matter because Patrice Cullors been on fire for like 3 months.
And Patrice Cullors was chosen to take the fall because she can handle it.
Yeah, I mean she got her money already, so
she don't give a fuck.
She like, what you gonna do? What you really gonna do about it? And I don't want to get to this right here. This is the Black Lives Matter page. They still got her up as one of the co-founders. This woman right here, Afsidi, I forgot how you say her name. Well, her name should be up here. Hold on.
I am not a
Opal Tometi.
I'm not a xenophobic, but these don't look like Black American people.
Well, no,
these look.
Patrice Cullors is Black American. Alicia Garza is Black American now.
Are you?
Tometi is
sure?
not. She's into a what they call it, a immigrations project. She was with one of those things, trying to help that, but I don't know if she's still with it or not. But I want to scroll all the way down on this page. There's something they got. The Black Lives Matter global network would not be recognized worldwide if it weren't for the folks in St. Louis and Ferguson who put their bodies on the line day in, day out, who continue to show up for Black lives. That seemed like that is they just added that.
I can't say if it was added, because they haven't been on this website, and I don't remember it being there. They did change. This was not how the page used to look.
Not at all.
They didn't have her story up there.
Yep.
It was totally different. They explained how they were for everybody but a Black man in they mission statement.
Literally inside their mission statement.
They don't have. Is this still the mission statement or?
I'm about to go to it right now. Somebody had just had went back and forth with somebody talking about it. Inside the mission statement, they made an argument to be for all these other groups. Oh, sorry, say demographics, except for Black men. Look at this right. Oh yeah, it's still up there. Hold on, let me go right here. Hold on.
Where's it?
Let me go down right here. What the hell?
Where would it be? It should be at about.
Yeah, let me just go to the home page. It should be on the home page.
Checking your browser before. Wow, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, crazy. Well, I just go here.
Now I don't see it up here.
You see here? Right here.
We affirm
the lives of Black, queer, and trans folks, disabled folks, undocumented folks, folks with records, women, and all Black lives along the gender spectrum.
Man.
That's Black man. So all Black lives along the gender spectrum is you, Black man. Our network centers those who have been marginalized within Black liberation movements.
Yeah. They ain't no man nowhere in there. Just Black lives along the gender spectrum. That's it. That's all you get, Black man.
All you get.
Even though you getting shot and killed and being the main face
Even though you admit on your, even though they admit on their own platform
that it started because
they use 14. I'm sorry. What's his name?
Trayvon Martin.
No. Was it Trayvon Martin?
Yeah, go back to his. It tell you we go back to her story.
So if it's Trayvon Martin, y'all build your entire platform off of the death of a little kid, black boy.
Yeah, Zimmerman. That's how it started with him.
And yet you don't even put his. He's not even part of your mission statement.
Not young boys. You know,
at all.
Damn.
Speaking of Black Lives Matter and they goofy ass. Black Lives Matter 7 demands.
Man, this gets you so. This is why Ice Cube don't fuck with y'all. This is exactly why he didn't want to be a part of it.
Look at this shit. Black Lives Matter 7 demands. Convict and ban Trump from future political office.
Hell, most of us wanted him to stay in the office over Biden.
Expel Republican members of Congress who attempted to overturn the election and incite a white supremacist attack.
We didn't give a fuck about no insurrection.
Launch a full investigation into the ties between the white supremacy and the Capitol Police, law enforcement, and the military.
That's white business.
Permanently ban Trump from all digital. What? Don't nobody care about Trump. We want him back on to talk shit.
We enjoyed his content.
Defund the police. Whatever. Don't let the coup be used as an excuse to crack down on our movement.
White business.
Pass the Breathe Act. That's what they saying their demands are.
The Breathe Act should have been at the top.
Shout out to First Them News.
Passing lynching laws, getting a reparation HR 40 bill passed.
Yeah. Notice that their mission statement didn't include
no reparations.
Their mission statement didn't include no reparations.
But you talking to Ice Cube, asking him why is he not affiliating himself with Black Lives Matter? Why hasn't he reached out to them? Because it's some bullshit like that.
So y'all, the people in the comments section like, fuck y'all. This is just, man, we really have no leadership, do we?
None.
It's just terrible. Speaking of leadership, Kamala Harris, Chloe Zhao named among 100 most impactful Asians. You see that?
She get to be a double agent. Kamala Harris get to be black when she want to be black. She get to be Asian when she want to be Asian.
You put an Asian woman in the White House and we get the Asian hate bill. I mean, I'm just saying. They got something.
Yeah, we had a black, quote unquote, president. He wasn't a vice president. He was the damn president. And we have not had a bill that says black anti-hate law. We haven't got nothing. We got civil rights. And everybody is included under that umbrella. Except for white men.
They don't know.
Well, hold on. Gay white men get to be included.
They done amended that law so much. It's not even. That
ain't even ours. We should say the civil rights ain't for black people. It's for everybody.
Yep. So now let's go further into this anti-Asian hate a little bit. And look at this, y'all. Proud Boys reportedly getting huge Asian American support due to Black Lives Matter Antifa fears. So wait. So Asian Americans who are supposedly being oppressed the last year because of COVID are now teaming up with the Proud Boys because of fear of Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
So Black Lives Matter is going to start attacking Asian American people.
This is
how do y'all come up with this scenario?
This is crazy. Like, and people, when you say this stuff, people are like you just being a conspiracy. Like, bruh, they're using this shit to. Black Lives Matter is done. The movement is over. They're ready to blow it up.
They ready to usher in this anti-Asian bull crap.
It's not gonna be the anti-Asian group. It's gonna be a new Rainbow Coalition group. Black Lives Matter is done.
They want that BIPOC.
Yeah, they done with it. They like, all right, we milked this as long as we could. George Floyd, we not gonna get nothing that big.
Black people aren't the only one being attacked. So are Asian Americans.
Look at the videos where these people are supposedly beating people just in front of camera somehow.
They always in front of a camera whooping your ass.
Always.
Never, it's not a recording.
It's a camera.
It's a camera from the street getting this.
But yeah.
Yet they can't ever find no cameras when black people are getting attacked for some reason.
Speaking on another politician, we got the Congressman Cori Bush. She made comments this week where she said every day black birthing people.
Why didn't you say black women?
Our babies die because our doctors don't believe in our pain. My children almost became a statistic. I almost became a statistic. I testified about my experience, oversight them today. Hear us, believe us, because for so long nobody had. Listen, man. Now you can't even call a black woman a black woman.
They already done took it. Listen, trans people are now calling you. What do they call them? Sis?
No, they call it trans people call women baby birthers. Yeah, baby birthers or pregnant people. Now she calling them birthing people.
Black birthing people.
You erasing yourself.
So they taking the name woman and giving them to themselves.
Trans, yeah,
and y'all you just a birthing. In the future, it's gonna be the birthing people. I'm a woman. That's the birthing people. You see how crazy that shit is?
This shit is crazy, bruh.
They allowing it.
You erasing yourself.
They so dumb.
But want to be woke.
Maybe all that heaviness on her is just crowding her thoughts. I don't know what to say.
Find a way to bring that woman weight up.
All that heaviness on her.
It's every time. Well, another sad news. It's gonna be the last thing we talk about right here. Talk about this.
She thinking about donuts and cookies.
Stop, Travis. 16-year-old black girl found hanging from a tree in Massachusetts.
Anti-lynching bill. I just discussed that. Ain't got passed yet because they planning on hanging in the near future.
Still ain't passed the anti-lynching bill. But you know what bill Joe Biden is trying his hardest to get passed? Hold on, let me find this right quick. What the? Biden White House is preparing to confront states on anti-trans bill.
But still has not gotten the George Floyd, even though we said in the George, there's some stuff in that act.
It's about giving police money.
We're not saying there's some shit in that bill. What I'm saying is anti-lynching bill has not been passed.
Nope. The what's his name? The kid that was killed.
Emmett Till
bill has not
been passed. Been sitting on the desk for how long?
Over 200 lynching bills have not gotten through. But this right here, he gonna get this through.
But this is who y'all wanted in the White House. Angela Rye on the Breakfast Club, all the time promoting this shit. This is all these people that wanted Joe Biden to win, and he has not done shit for us.
Oh.
You don't even hear about Simone Sanders no more.
Nope.
Oh, I forgot. She's in Kamala Harris's cabinet, not Joe Biden's cabinet.
So yeah, final day news of the day. You know, Tim Scott asking for the police reform. Now this is a Republican asking for police reform. That's not typical. But he said the reason why he wanted it is because he's been stopped 18 times for driving while black.
DWB.
Let me say this. Tim Scott is running for president.
I believe so. And that's crazy how you said
in
order for them to get any steam, they have to get a black conservative man to run for president.
I said in January, I said they're gonna run a black man on the Republican Party. I said they're gonna have to run a black dude. I kept saying who's gonna run because most of the people in the Republican Party is terrible. Democratic Party is terrible. Who's gonna run to win? It can't. I don't think a Democrat, no matter the gender or whatever, is really gonna do well against a good candidate.
We still trying to get that Andrew Gillum stain off of us.
But not saying Tim Scott is a good candidate. He said racism
don't exist
in America. I'm sorry. He didn't say that. He said America's not racist. He didn't say racism don't exist. He said America's not racist. So he's not, but the fact that he said this, I'm telling you, Tim Scott's going to run for president. And if Trump got 20% of the black male vote, I think he got what, 10%, 8% of the black woman vote?
Mm-hmm.
How the hell can he get more?
He definitely can get more.
He can easily get 35, 40.
If he come on talking some real shit, he definitely can get more votes.
He would be better off if he left the Republican Party and went independent.
That's what I was about to say.
But yeah. But anyway, man, this is episode 6 of this, our discussion, the stuff we want to talk about. I think we went, how long is this?
This video is probably about an hour and 35 minutes.
I don't know.
Because I'm sweating.
Yeah, this is going to be a long edit. Well, I'm just going to edit some shit out. But anyway, yeah, man, this was a good talk. Try to do this, like I said, twice a month. You said once a month. This is draining to you or something?
No, it's not draining.
Okay.
Just try to, have some anticipation.
Well, we're going to put some, I'm going to make sure I put some timestamps in the comments. I'll put this at the first beginning of the video, this part right here. Put some timestamps in so people can jump through if they want to hear about a specific thing. But anyway, man, all praise to the Most High and peace.